펀처2가 무료 배포 중입니다. 약 10만원 꿀템이에요. 사운드 댐핑감 줄 때 사용하면 좋습니다. 트랜지언트, 멀티밴드 등을 조절해 원하는 믹싱을 할 수 있어요. 초보자도 간단하게 작업할 수 있습니다. 드럼 베이스 기타 등에 걸면 훨씬 캐릭터 있는 사운드를 만들 수 있어요. 다운받는 법은 더보기에 있습니다. SSL X-EQ2가 89% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
Puncher 2 comes with more than 30 professionally designed presets.
더블로가 70% 할인 중입니다. 2+2 이벤트 중이에요. 보컬 기타, 베이스 등에 걸면 훨씬 풍부한 사운드를 만들 수 있습니다. 보이스, 게인, 딜레이 등의 값을 변형해 곡에 알맞게 사용할 수 있어요. 초보자 강추입니다. 웨이브스 울티메이트 1년 구독 20% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
This line is representing that. So you can create some modulation effect. Let's listen just to this one. So I'll turn off. You hear the pitch going up and down in that one. That's because the depth is very high and the rate's pretty high. So you can create some pretty crazy sounds that way. But usually you don't need to have the modulation turned on. You can just set this to 0. And you would just be wanting to make some copies of this sound. And this last section here is the EQ that only affects the duplicate voices. This doesn't affect the original sound, the white one here, at all. So this is a low cut, and it'll cut down to whatever you have the gain at, and this is where you set the frequency for it, or you can just move this ball. And this is going to be a high boost or cut based on whether you have it pulled down or pulled up, and again you can adjust it here. And
TX 번들이 90% 할인 중입니다. 불프 최저가예요. 3개 꿀템 묶음입니다. 작업할 때 쓰기 좋은 이펙터만 모아놨어요. EQ 컴프 등으로 사운드를 더 풍성하게 만들 수 있습니다. 트렌디한 장르에 추천드려요. 모도 맥스가 66% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
So you can hear it's really kind of bringing the drums forward, making them a little punchier, and making them a little brighter. And so now I'll break down what this plugin can do and how I'm using it. So first off, you got the EQ here, and you've got this little button here where you can change between black and brown, which are the two different configurations of the original SSL channel strip when it comes to the low end EQ. So the black here, my understanding is that this is going to be a tighter a tighter curve on the EQ cut, and then brown is going to be a wider cut. So if you want to be more focused, then you can use black. If you want a more sweeping cut, then you or increase, you can use brown. So I like black here. I noticed the kick was a little too like boomy, and so I'm cutting out quite a bit here in that lower boomy section there. And then low mids here, I'm boosting that a tad to help with the body of the snare. And then with the high mids, I'm increasing these a bit as well, just for that crack sound.
MPS7 크로스그레이드가 27% 할인 중입니다. AA 믹마 꿀템 종결자예요. 작업에 필요한 다양한 툴이 전부 들어있습니다. 해당 트랙에 걸고 버튼만 누르면 최적화된 레벨링을 도와줘요. 마스터링, 믹싱, 보컬 작업까지 올인원으로 가능합니다. iZotope 불프 세일이 최대 74% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing for the de-esser, except for I'm really going to accentuate those S's so we can hear exactly what the de-esser is doing and which sound it's moving, but removing, but celly cell seashell, celly cell seashell. Seashell, celly cell, 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 seashell, celly cell.
UJAM 버추얼 기타리스트 번들이 66% 할인 중입니다. 자동 연주 꿀템이에요. 곡전기에 알맞은 패턴을 초보자도 쉽게 만들 수 있습니다. 이펙터가 내장되어 있어 한 번에 작업을 할 수 있어요. 작업 속도를 올리는 꿀템입니다. UJAM 불프 세일이 최대 85% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
Sparkle 2 before, you will already know what all these knobs do. But for those rascals who dare to not having used those plugins before, here's a quick tour through the functions. You choose between player and instrument mode here. Let's start with player mode. You play chords here and choose a common phrase here. In addition to those, you can choose playing styles here and then get additional, more specific patterns here, less intense or more intense. You choose between a single guitar or double guitar here and can adjust the width. You can set up how chunky and also different from left to right these guitars are played with the variance knob. Tuning knob is obvious. You can blend between microphone and pickup here. Choose a character there. And choose between different mixing setups here. You can also dial in the amount of air here. And when you're done, some more tone adjustment with the focus EQ from dark to bright.
UAD 아날로그 번들이 66% 할인 중입니다. EQ 컴프 등이 들어있는 종결자 패키지예요. 모든 장르에 활용할 수 있습니다. 사운드가 밋밋한 분들이 사용하면 레알 꿀이에요. 간단한 조작으로 고퀄 사운드를 뽑을 수 있습니다. UAD 불프 세일이 최대 83% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
So you'll notice right away that the kick and snare get leveled out, but that ride comes forward too, and the overall sound just gets glued together. There's a certain sheen to it and a polish, and I'm just sort of pulling out all of the goodness of those tracks. So now that I have that room mic sounding really good, let's go ahead and add another instance of the LA2A Silver, this time on the drum subgroup itself. The goal here is going to be to add a lot of cohesion and some movement to all of my drum